Hi, my name is Dan. This is my daughter Jordan.
Hi.
And we wanted to take this opportunity to respond to CNN's invitation to share some of our memories of George Bush in his last 8 years as our decider-in-chief. I thought the best way to do that would be to have my 9-year-old read some of George's more quotable quotes, kind of a David Letterman style top 10 from 10 to 1. So without further ado, I will turn it over to my daughter, Jordan.
10. First thing that Medicare has done is it says that when you join Medicare, you get preventative screenings. But in Texas terms, in order to solve something, you got to diagnose it. 9. Border relations between Canada and Mexico have never been better.
Wow.
8. A political candidate who jumps to conclusions without knowing the facts is not a person you want as your commander-in-chief.
Kind of like when George jumped to the conclusion that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Oops.
7. I want to send the signal to our enemy that you have aroused a compassionate and decent and mighty nation, and we're going to hunt you down. 6. I want to thank the President and the CEO of Constellation Energy, Mayo Shatuk. That's a pretty cool first name, isn't it? Mayo. Pass the Mayo. 5. Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we. 4. There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas probably, in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, you can't get fooled again.
You don't get fooled again! I think I heard that in a song somewhere.
3. I'll be long gone before some smart person ever figures out what happened inside this Oval Office.
Too bad there hasn't been a smart person inside that Oval Office in about 8 years. Until January, anyway.
2. This notion that the United States is getting ready to attack Iran is simply ridiculous. And having said that, all options are on the table. And 1. It's, one of the hardest parts of my job to connect Iraq to the war on terror.
Yeah, and he still hasn't done it. We had a little fun with this. We thought maybe we'd share some of this with you. It's just kind of a way of having a laugh. But in all seriousness, this is a man who bragged about being a C student and somehow ascending to the office of the President of the United States, the leader of the free world. This is a man who obviously can't speak very well. That's one of the reasons why I didn't bother to correct Jordan when she made a few of her reading errors, because obviously during his lifetime nobody ever bothered to correct George, teach him a few things about how to read, how to write, how to say things correctly. Maybe in his time since he's been departed, maybe his wife, who actually can read and write, can teach him how to do those things. I can only hope. I hope we never hear from him again.
Only hope.
We will we'll add a little video clip on the end of this to illustrate more fully the more hurtful and deceitful lies of this administration, the things that really hurt us as a nation. And we thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks.
Lie and get away with it, and that we will in fact find weapons or evidence of weapons programs that are conclusive. I don't think we'll discover anything myself. It appears that there were not weapons of mass destruction there.
You said you knew where they were.
I did not. We know where they are. They're in the area around Tikrit and Baghdad and east, west, south, and north. Well, first of all, I haven't lied. There are a lot of people who lie and get away with it.
Talking about lies and your allegation that there was bulletproof evidence of ties between Al-Qaeda and Iraq. Was that a lie?
Intelligence gathered by this and other governments leaves no doubt that the Iraqi regime continues to possess and conceal some of the most lethal weapons ever devised. Are people going to find out The truth. And the truth will say that this intelligence is good intelligence. No doubt in my mind. I don't know anybody that I can think of who has contended that the Iraqis had nuclear weapons. I would believe he has, in fact, reconstituted nuclear weapons.
Saddam Hussein is determined to get his hands on a nuclear bomb.
We cannot wait for the final proof. He's got him. He's got him. The smoking gun. He's got him. It could come in the form of mushroom cloud. Colin Powell didn't lie.
My colleagues, every statement I make today is backed up by sources, solid sources. These are not assertions. What we're giving you are facts and conclusions based on solid intelligence.
He has not developed any significant capability with respect to weapons of mass destruction. He is unable to project conventional power against his neighbors. Are people going to find out the truth? I have not suggested there's a connection between Iraq and the 9/11.
You have said in the past that it was, quote, pretty well confirmed.
No, I never said that.
Okay. I
Never
think
said
that is...
That's absolutely not. What I said was, it's been pretty well confirmed, that he did go to Prague and he did meet with a senior official of the Iraqi intelligence service. Saddam Hussein aids and protects terrorists, including members of Al-Qaeda. Secretly, without fingerprints, he can provide one of his hidden weapons to terrorists or help them develop their own. What did Iraq have to do with what? The attack on the World Trade Center. Nothing. He said there were three main reasons for going to war in Iraq. Weapons of mass destruction. Saddam Hussein has gone to elaborate lengths, spent enormous sums, taken great risks to build and keep weapons of mass destruction. The claim that Iraq was sponsoring terrorists who attacked us on 9/11. Before September the 11th, many in the world believed that Saddam Hussein could be contained, and that Iraq had purchased nuclear materials from Nigeria. The regime is seeking a nuclear bomb. All three of those turned out to be false. First, just if I might correct a misperception, I don't think we ever said, at least I know I didn't say, that there was a direct connection between September the 11th and Saddam Hussein. Who does the president think he's effing kidding?
Of course, it was information that was mistaken.
There are a lot of people who lie and get away with it. Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Nope, no weapons over there. Maybe under here.
When you have a precedent set like that, and you have somebody, George Tenet, acknowledging in his book that he knew that the administration was deceiving the American people into a situation that is murdering young men and women from this country and others, that George Tenet and Dick Cheney and Condoleezza Rice and George Bush et al. Should be in fucking jail.
When the president had an opportunity to capture or kill Osama bin Laden, he took his focus off of them, outsourced the job to Afghan warlords, and Osama bin Laden escaped. 6 months after he said Osama bin Laden must be caught dead or alive, this president was asked, "Where's Osama bin Laden?" He said, "I don't know. I don't really think about him very much. I'm not that concerned." We need a president who stays deadly focused on the real war on terror. Mr. President.
Gosh, I don't think I ever said I'm not worried about Osama bin Laden. It's kind of one of those exaggerations. So I don't worry. Nor, I just don't spend that much time on it. I repeat what I said. I truly am not that concerned about him.